Actually, the uniform is still back there in the back corner. I just got it back from the cleaners, so you know I haven't hid it back in its closet just yet.
Oh, big spoiler for all the kids that are now showing in. Welcome everyone to Developers Meeting 2023. What we now learned is that Santa is a hoax. Santa is not true, kids.
I was going to say, there's no kids here.
Yeah, I could have told you.
He lives in the US.
I could have told you that.
Okay, guys. Yeah, great to see you all again. I actually have a long list of things I wanted to discuss with you. But first question, if any topic from your side is a high topic, please raise it now. And otherwise, I just run through my list.
Yeah, real quick, Richard.
Okay.
A, Happy New Year, but B, I need those three parts you wanted me to 3D print.
Right.
I just need to know which ones they are. You haven't sent me anything on what they are. So if you just send me the either URL or just the part number so I can look them up.
I send you the URL.
Again, at your leisure. Yeah.
Okay.
I should be able to do those by the end of the week.
Okay, great. Oliver is printing now the last two things, and I think he said he's finished by tomorrow. So either by tomorrow or the day after, he will send it over to you.
Okay.
And then I will also give you the list of. We now have seven to print.
Seven parts
times three.
Okay.
7 times 3 parts. Right.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do is take the 3 parts, print them, make sure I can meet the spec, which I'm confident I can. But do that, and then if that looks good, then go ahead and get the rest of them printed out, and I can start doing that later this week.
Oliver will send you the filament. Okay, we will send you.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have enough to get started. So no worries there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah,
you bet.
Tell Oliver that he will send you the filament anyways.
Okay.
Also as a refund because it's on your expenses, Just making a note about that. Thank you. So, yeah. Who is here, everyone? Hey, Mike is here. Rebecca's here. Fabio is here. Ido is here. And then we've got CW. I think it's Christopher. And TP, Tom P. Hi. So why not jump right in? One point. Yannick is not here today. Yannick wanted to come, but couldn't make it. The same is with David. David from Scotland. He's also a developer, and he's also a sound engineer, and he works at the University of Caledonia. And he wanted to join us today, but he's bringing his little kid to the tennis club today. But he's going for some things on the tracker side. He wants to join, and audio-wise, of course. And he tested a lot of hardware material and so forth. But actually, I wanted to have him introduce himself, but yeah, not here yet. There is a SSD running around in Europe. And Mike, my question to you, did you receive the SSD from Yannick yet?
Yes, I did. And I've copied it so it can go into the next person if required.
Great. I will give you the address of David so you can ship it there. It's in Scotland.
That's fine. If you just send it over to me,
yes,
and I can get it over to him. That's no problem.
Perfect. Bear with me. I need a secretary. Said the secretary. All right. Yeah, that was that point. And Christian told us that he's going to set up a vault kind of, a storage so that we can put all material there in the future and do not have to send SSDs around. Right, Christian?
Yes, we will set up a server in a school nearby, and they let us use their internet connection. It's, I think, 250 megabits. And I'm going to set up a server with OpenVault as OS. So we have to think about in what way we provide the streams. No, not streams, but the videos for download. And we will limit the access for upstream, for upload to, I think, just a few people. So we will have a server running that may provide material for development and testing.
Okay, great.
So that's good for your side of the earth. What are we going to do about caching servers? Are we just going to get one in each continent, or maybe one in the U.S. and one in Europe for the cloud to go to?
How is the download rate at that server, Christian?
250 megabits, and they're going
upload. Sorry,
around.
Upload from your point of view.
The upload, I think, is 40 megabit.
Okay, that's what
ours is only 20.
Okay.
But since we just want to upload, or maybe we just use 2 accounts for uploading, I think the upload doesn't matter.
Yeah. So it's not the same that the 10 people at the same time will download. So
yeah. If they can, 250 megabit is pretty nice.
Yeah, but
it's around 22 megabytes per second.
But it's download to the school side, but in form of that we download.
No. It's they use an upload booster, so people can download with 250 megabytes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Christian.
Yeah, and they're trying to establish that at the moment. I think they are on it since today's Sunday, Thursday, I think. They're testing.
All right.
They got a new internet connection at the school.
So, Tommy, I think, if need be, we can set up, or you have an idea how to set that up in the US if need be. But for now, I'd say we try to start it.
Yeah, no, I got it.
In this way and see where we end.
We might have a mirroring server that is set up identically. So, but yeah, we should talk about it.
Yeah. I can create one. I have
first,
1
let's
gigabit.
See what the school can do for us, and we see.
Ido, what did you say?
I have a 1 gigabit symmetric connection, so I can put something up if you need to.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's going to be 5 gigabit this year. So.
And you've got some terabyte of disk space?
Yeah, I have enough.
Okay. So then I would say either you give me a link for uploading the material.
Okay.
Or we send the SSD to you.
Up to you. I don't mind.
It'll upload.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I'll set an upload, and if you want to send an SSD, and I'll make it available. That's also
okay. So I'll try the upload first and see how performance-wise it is from my side. So and
okay.
Whether it's better that David sends the SSD to you afterwards.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into Mike's idea. You published, I think 3 days ago. Mike, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Let me just go and remind myself. Sorry. Yeah, I do. I think it was basically like a tracker challenge or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So just sum up your idea.
Yeah. So essentially, what I was thinking was is basically just provide a portal where people can upload a video that we can then run the tracker on and see if we can track the object that is of interest. Just to, I mean, it was mainly just to try and see if it's just to challenge the tracker in a way, just to get videos that would challenge the tracker really. And I think initially we can just do it manually, and then after a while we can see if we can build some sort of pipeline where the video gets uploaded, that the tracker is run on it, it produces an output, and then the output is so yeah. So there were two parts to this actually. Oh yeah, there were two parts to this. One was to get challenging videos to challenge the tracker. The other part was to also produce content for the YouTube channel to for engagement as well, so people can see the progress we're making, and and maybe challenging scenarios that we are able to track, and the speed of the tracker and those sorts of things. Because it would be nice to also look back at that. I think maybe like in 2 years' time to see how we were performing 2 years previously, as things progress. So I think it was those three things. One, it was to get challenging videos to track. Two was to produce content for the YouTube channel, and
third is to have an improvement on the tracker itself and to see over time.
Exactly. Exactly that. Because otherwise, there's only going to be like a small select of us that are going to upload videos to. It's the same scenery that we're going to try and track, if that makes sense. So, so if we can open it up a little bit and put some criteria as to what we need the video size to be, and maybe frame size or whatnot, and just a bit of a description as to what the requirements are for the video, if any. I think there should be like an upper size limit maybe, because otherwise it can fill up quite quickly, and you kind of don't want people to. I mean, there are people that will take advantage of this sort of stuff and dump all sorts of things in storage if they have access to it. So it was just to set some criteria, for the uploaded videos. Yeah, it was mainly just that was just my thinking.
I think it's a great idea. It takes certainly some efforts to implement. What kind of we would need a kind of a platform that this can run on.
I don't want to. I mean, initially we just need the ability to upload something into storage, and if I don't. Yeah, maybe we can discuss that, like the implementation of it separately. It was mainly I don't maybe everyone can have a bit of a think about that. I mean, I have views on it and stuff, and but yeah, we can. But it was mainly just the idea, just to kind of run the idea by you guys, and because the kind of main videos I use for testing really are just Brad's drone video, and then the plane that flies across, and maybe another video or two that's got birds in it. It would be nice to get some really challenging videos, So that was the thought process. Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, from the implementation side, as I say, maybe we can I can write up at some point. I can try and write up a bit of a proposal. And we could, to just make a start, and then we can kind of go from there really, and other people can then give their suggestions, and then we can just pick one which is the better option, and try and implement it.
Okay.
That was kind of the thought.
Okay. Shall we discuss? We can discuss it now. What kind of platform or solution or service that could be? I mean, we now have the time to, so why not talk about it now? First of all, feedback from any one of you about the basic idea of Mike.
Well, first of all, I think it's a very good idea, because since we don't know the type of objects that we need to track, because we're dealing with unidentified objects, so I think it's great for us to try it with several different things, even challenging things. From maybe we'll have access to other videos, and we have some engagement from the community also.
Hi, Lionel.
Quick question: is my understanding correct? You want this as a essentially a database of short video files for, no, what do I want to say here? In effect, also doing training our neural network stuff. Is that more or less the idea, or am I off? Am I off target on that?
Yeah. So I was hoping. So in an ideal world, I was hoping that we would build this, we would build this thing, get it working, get it out there, and then it would go viral in a way where people then go, oh, let's upload our video here and see if it can track it, and maybe, down the line we can try and identify the object that's tracking, and all this sort of stuff, and that gains momentum. It gains more people that are interested in the topic, and then also potentially more people that want to help with the development, and all this sort of stuff. So it was yeah. So that was initially the thought process, was to try and, I don't know, just to try and have some sort of excitement, just to, because it's not, I don't think it's anyone that has access to the ability. Like, not everyone's a developer, so not everyone can sit down and follow a tutorial that like essentially tries to track something on a video and see it work. And I just thought this might be a mechanism to provide that to anyone that wants to just upload a video and see if something can be tracked, really, and identified even. Like it was that. It was to try and the main push was to try and gain more traction, generate more interest, and ultimately acquire more talent to help us, push the product further and make it better and improve it, and so forth. That was kind of the main idea.
It's also a feedback loop for ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely, because you can, yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure I was on the right channel.
Poorly. Yeah. I mean, you can then easily see where something needs to be improved on, and because I am worried about like confirmation bias, where I only use videos that I know work, versus videos that I know don't work because I don't have those videos, sort of thing. So it just helps with all that sort of stuff, really.
Absolutely. And I know of stationeers. For example, David, I was talking about a couple of minutes ago. He has records of not parachuters. How do you call these guys? Paragliders.
Paragliders,
And
yeah.
I have nothing of that material here in Vienna. But it depends on the location where the stuff is up. So yes, absolutely, it gives us a much wider spectrum of elements.
Yeah. When we were on holiday, there was a lot of that going on where we were staying and I thought about recording some material, because absolutely, and there's lots of stuff we haven't even thought about, that you haven't even that I don't think we've thought about with regards to objects in the sky that are known. So yeah, it was just something along those lines, really.
It could even help with the simulation process. So when we simulate something material that for our algorithms, we can test it there.
Yeah, agreed. You know, if you can get like I mean, I have an idea in my head as to how it could work, but you know, I think it would just be quite neat. You know, it would be very accessible to everyone, and hopefully it generates more content for, you know, because you can imagine, like, if someone uploads a video, there will have to be a disclaimer which says the video can be published on our YouTube channel, for example. Someone uploads a video and we track something that we can't identify. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there must be some sort of YouTube API, or if there's a way to automatically push the stuff to YouTube, or maybe just put it into a bucket that someone can then visually inspect and then upload to. And I think it would pique people's interest in such a way that hopefully just helps our community gain additional, as I say, just more traction, and people can also see progress, because there is obviously a bit of a not a so I am mindful that although there's a lot of work going on in the background with regards to development and improvements to the tracker and, you know, all this sort of stuff, it's not a visual exercise. It's, you know, it's not something I can show you, like, you know, like you can show someone. Yeah, it's very difficult to show people the improvements in a way. And I just thought, you know, maybe if, it would just kind of aid in that respect. It would produce content for the YouTube channel. Hopefully it would, you know, generate more interest and further improve traction, and also ultimately, you know, maybe, you know, we pick up a couple more devs that can help us to improve stuff, you know. So that was the thought process behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good showcase. Anyways, it's a feedback loop for ourselves, and yes, it helps on all ends. I think it's a great idea. It's a shame that we didn't come up with that one. But thank you, Mike. I think we shall follow that route. Any objection?
Cool.
Anyone who says? I mean, I have some concerns about the material. So if someone uploads an XXX rated movie, for example,
it's true.
The tracker won't know what goes on.
But, you're no fun at all.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. So it would have to be, I suppose, manually inspected then before. Yeah. So agreed. Agreed.
I mean, there's some edges that we have to sail around, but I think we can make it open so that anyone can post upload and see what the performance is, and only publish those who are relevant and make sense, and all the others get binned. I see it only for now as a human interaction.
Yes, that's fine. I don't. Yeah, agreed. I don't think it's. I think you probably want to kind of once a month do essentially like put all of these things together and produce, versus like a 10-second clip, and you know, I think it needs to be So yeah, you're right. There's going to always be manual intervention. You know.
Okay. But that's okay. I mean, if we update it, I mean, maybe we have volunteers who can help. Michael, for example, maybe you can help here. If we do it once a week and then bin or trash everything, the 90% that is trash, and upload the 10% that's good. That's doable. It's a couple of minutes.
Well, I think I can help with that. And the catch is, of course, the devil's in the details. So let's see what we can come up with.
Yeah, let's try that. So let's talk about how to implement this. We need a platform for this. Is your idea a kind of a web service?
Yeah, so it probably would be. I mean, I've got some experience with, some cloud providers and that sort of thing. So I would kind of go that route, but I don't know how expensive it would be. And
especially video material.
I don't know is the honest answer. I don't know what the best option is.
Rebecca? Or who said what? Okay, sorry. I just thought I heard someone saying something.
Yeah, so I don't quite know what the best option is. But maybe at some point during the year I can put together a bit of a proof of concept just to show that it's possible, and then we can get into a bit more detail as to how it should be hosted and stuff like that. But yeah, I think you would need to upload the video via the website, and that would dump it on a. Yeah, so I've got for me. So there would be a Azure function, and which would then receive the video, dump it on basically something like blob storage, which would then kick off some sort of processing pipeline that would process the video, produce an output, which will then get stored somewhere, which then can be inspected. But that's just because I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
With that platform, really.
Well, anyway, I think that the cloud storage for now it's a good solution. It will not be expensive if we've got the cheapest solution there, because we don't need speed right now. We just need to see what kind of videos we receive, and we can go from there. If we see that we're receiving too much, a lot of videos, too many videos, and the content's not good, we can just end up this thing. Or if we're receiving lots of good content there, then we can think later on a better solution.
Yes.
If I can throw in a side note also, in terms of just capability I have on hand, back in the rack behind me, there's about 40 terabytes of storage, which is probably 3/4 full, but I can, clear some of that off. So we might, and I'm thinking come to the existing, existing web server, and when they upload them to them, just have it so it redirects here. I'd have to get this online, on a permanent basis and that kind of thing. But that might be something we can do, and that way we wouldn't have an ongoing storage cost.
You're connected,
things like that,
right?
Yeah. These are all connected on Starlink. But I also do have a backup, or effectively a backup channel on HughesNet. So the only thing that gets in the act there is the delay time. But that's for data. So that's usually not a significant problem.
We could use a kind of a backup or backlog section, but the platform itself should be able to take in parallel, of course, a couple of videos, maybe limited in size. And then either store it if there is success in the tracker, and if there's no success, then can it trash it instantly. And the good material shall go to that external storage. That could be feasible. Would that be feasible?
Yeah.
Mike, what do you say?
Well,
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, we can use an external storage just for
as always,
and have the local storage only for processing, kind of.
No.
Okay.
So
next
but
thing
like I said, the point is I do have some reasonably industrial.
What's the difference between internal storage and external storage if you want to put it on the cloud?
Because we have to combine good up and download, like in your case, with let's say something like a 40 terabyte storage. Or do you have both at hands?
Yeah, but if you put it on the cloud, there is no internal or external storage, just the cloud.
Yes, if we put it on the cloud, absolutely. So
how much data is the SSD?
I mean, I have no idea. I right now have about 60,000 videos, and this makes up about 3 terabyte, kind of.
Oh, 3 terabytes. It's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah. For 60,000. So yeah, it depends how much we will get, but we can start small, of course. So a question is platform-wise. Okay, we store it either locally or on the cloud, but we need a web service for that, right? Any ideas for this?
How about Azure IoT?
Costly with videos.
Because it's easy. There's a runtime we can put on the Linux box, and it can automatically upload the video files to some cold storage.
On Azure. Yeah, but that's all with Azure and Google Cloud. It's all costly with videos.
I don't know. Didn't we just receive a donation?
Not that big one.
Well,
not that big?
Yeah.
Well, for bulk storage, if we do that here, that eliminates that cost.
Well,
you know, and I'm definitely in favor of things that.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just that I'm familiar with Azure, so I can think of ways to make it work easily. But
okay, Lionel, can you check whether there is costs implemented with up and download, or only for the total amount of storage?
Everything has a cost.
Okay, that's the
everything
point.
has a cost. I can produce a quick study, a quick forecast estimate.
Yeah. Okay.
To upload, I don't know, how many gigabytes we talk about for months? How many stations in this stage?
Oh, I think this is just for like, yeah. Sorry, Richard, do you want to explain?
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, no, sorry, Lionel. This is just for, this is more for, so what we were thinking was to allow people just to upload a video that is essentially like a tracking challenge, and then if it produces an interesting result, it'll be a physical upload. It's not something that's going to be automated from a station. It might not even be from someone that has a station. It could just be from like a mobile phone clip or anything, you know.
Okay. Well, then how about we use the Ghost public IP address and upload to an FTP there? Every time there's a track.
Yeah, someone uploads a video.
Do you have a public IP?
So it should be HTTP based. Okay, not everyone knows what FTP is.
Yeah.
Right. HTTP and file upload. That's something that should be like I can ask ChatGPT to create a node server that has a file upload.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it is costly.
No. You just need to run a local server. Then you know, if you have dynamic IP at home, you can make a static one out of it, right? With a static URL.
Okay.
There's not a big issue.
Commonly speaking, yes.
Yeah, but from what I hear, we cannot go to the cloud because it's going to be expensive, and it's true.
Yeah.
So if you need like hosting and stuff like that, I can designate one of my servers to do that. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, you're serious what you're saying here. Okay, that means that
I'll give you a server. I'll put it like a bunch of NVMEs. So you'll have like probably like I don't know, between 6 to 8 terabytes. Okay, that should be enough to start.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
be plenty.
So-
yeah, that'll be
so-
loads.
And I mean, this is more or less for the processing part. We can then use, because we choose by hand the good ones, we can then those good ones, the 10%, put in on a drive, for example, or any other platform.
I get it.
So it's just for the.
I get it.
Oh, that would be great. So next question is, now we know how to store it, and let's say do it process it manually, process the results manually. We need a platform that processes where the tracker is running, and a user interface, and the listing, and all that.
Well, again,
And there goes Rebecca.
I'll give
She
you a
heard
server,
user interface,
okay?
and she's gone. Sorry, Rebecca.
No, I'll give you a server. I'll give you a SSH access. Do with it whatever you want.
Yeah. So it's a Linux box, for example, and we put on an Apache server, and the rest is Mike's work, let's say.
I don't think you need an Apache server. Just like a Node.js application. There's no reason to make it
Okay.
too complex. Okay, it's behind the firewall, so it should be fine. I mean, there's not a big issue into that.
In your demilitarized zone, okay. Yeah, perfect. So, Mike, okay, Ido, would it be possible that you can give access to that server to Mike once you have set that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So just from a priority standpoint, I don't think. Yeah, so this is not something that needs to be done right away. It's in my opinion. So I want to backpedal a little bit. So I don't want you guys to like go, okay, we've got to do this now this week. I'm not going to get to it for a while until I need to get some stuff done on the tracker first, actually. But it was mainly just a suggestion initially, and it's not something.
When you need a cloud, okay, I'll give you like a server to work with.
That's cool. Yeah. So when I'm ready, I'll reach out to you, and then we can go from there. I think.
Okay.
If that's okay.
The only thing is, like, if you need GPU, then my server do not have that. That should be all right. I think so. With classification and that sort of stuff, that's obviously going to need GPU, but that we don't have to. We don't have to do classification if we don't have a GPU. So we can just do tracking. Yeah. Because then when it's the electrical bill will start goes up also.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, no, I know. Absolutely. So I don't. Yeah, no, I get it. I think just if you leave it with me, I'll there's some stuff I need to do. Like there's stuff on the tracker and things like that. And once all that's done, I think like the alpha stuff is to me is the main priority at the moment. So once we've got alpha out the way, then this is something that I can maybe pick up. But so it's not an immediate thing. Sorry, I didn't think it would move that fast. From
another approach, Richard, more advanced one will be to have the file being uploaded into the browser cache, and then execute on it completely on the client side.
How big is the cache? How big is it, Max?
Yeah, okay.
It's as much as that disk you have, right?
Yeah.
On a smartphone?
Yeah, that's a fair point. I get where you're going with that. That's actually a fair point.
What I'm going with that is that the tracker will be able to run on your smartphone through the browser, through like OpenGL or whatever, right? You have all these advanced technologies now that you can do on the browser with computational power.
I have a quick question first. Where are you storing everything? I missed that. My cell phone cut off.
So technically, you're processing through the browser cache, right? Like
Oh no, sorry. I meant about what Mike G wanted to do. Where are you storing all of those videos?
either on the cloud or some storage, local storage. For example, my server.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Or we rent a server, like from all these, companies that are renting servers, right, with a dedicated IP and storage and whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah. No. Yeah.
No worries, Mike. We understood the idea, and I think it's a great one. And yeah, whenever you have got the time to, we shall kick it, or whenever you have got time to kick it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I also want to just produce some content for the YouTube channel, which will show the tracking. You know what I mean? Because I think that would help with engagement, and that I can produce in the meantime anyway.
I wanted to say that we can produce ourselves. We have the material, you have the tracker, we can produce MP4s and upload to YouTube. I think that's basically a great idea that we should do it immediately.
Yeah. Yes. And this this other stuff we can that's like something that we can get to at some point, and we can kind of give it a bit more thought but yeah, you know, initially it was a big thing behind this was to produce content for YouTube to try and drive, you know, it's to just try and get more interest in the project as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Mike, I would say whenever you've got some videos that is, let's say, just the output videos where you see a track of whatever object, just give it to me and I put it on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Okay, will do. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, awesome.
We are unlimited there,
Thank
so you can give me as much as you need.
Okay.
Or the best ones.
Do you have the ability
so
to? Yeah, do you have the ability to basically concatenate that, like, you know, produce a single video out of several? Like.
Yes, I can edit it, of course. Yes. So if you give me 10 and I make one out of them, that's what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Then you can kind of decide, like, if I produce 20 videos, and then you can maybe go through and decide which one's the better ones. To you know. Okay.
I think it's good if we do, let's say, one reel per week or so, and that amount, and put that on YouTube. Yeah. If it's too much, people we cannot consume anyway.
Agreed. Okay.
And I think we should include Yannick also, because Yannick showed nice results on the kinematics.
Yes.
And it is not running on GPU, right? Did he say that, or am I wrong here?
I don't think it runs on GPU. No. And this will also, you know, this sort of stuff is really cool because it'll show the progression as well. Like, we can initially put a video up there that says, you know, we process, you know, I try and put one before Fabio did his optimizations, and we can show that we process at like 2 or 3 frames a second, and then after Fabio's optimization, that goes up to like, you know, 10 frames or 15, you know, and you can, you know, then over time you can also see the improvement. You know, I think it also tells a story. It, you know, kind of also tells a story about how the product's improved over a period of time as well.
I think it's a great idea that we should already start with doing this. I mean, of course we wanted to do this when we had the real stations out there and tracking live material, but at that point it could be still a couple of weeks or months until we have that. But in between, I think it's a great idea, and yeah, I think we should do this. And afterwards, we should keep on doing this. Pick out best shots, best results, for example, to have a kind of an ongoing stream of information. and how we proceed over time.
Okay.
I think it's also good for ourselves as a feedback loop.
Yeah, agreed. Exactly, because it's nice to see it progressing as well. Because I think just for everyone, you know, and it also coming together. Because like pulling, like for example, you know, having the tracker doing its thing, and then pulling in classification and kinematics and all of that being presented on one screen. I think it's nice. It'll be nice for everyone to kind of see that. You know, and then ultimately with the UI as well, you know, I think it would just be really cool to see that evolution over time, you know, as it improves and progresses.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see. I've got a process. I think there's there's an update from there's an update from Fabio shortly, I think, with some of the work he's done, and then I need to process some videos over the coming weeks, and then I'll send you if I have any good ones, I'll send them over to you.
Perfect.
Okay.
And
Cool.
get in touch with Yannick. Maybe you can implement his code as well.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. Agreed. No, yeah. Okay, we'll do.
Let's
Thanks.
see. Wait, perfect. Okay. Brings me to the question to Fabio. You were mentioning the last meeting we had that you were porting the CSRT tracker. Any results on that? Did you test it?
Yeah, in fact, I did like copy the code that was from OpenCV just to play with it. But then I discovered that the main problem was not the CSRT tracker. It was not the problem right now. The problem was the blob detector, the thing that after the background subtraction, it gets the bounding boxes to send to the tracker.
Mm-hmm.
This was the thing that was slowing down everything there. It was terrible. It was taking over 75% of the time of the whole of everything.
Wow. Okay. And the
So
workaround is?
Yeah, in the end, I did a blob detector algorithm myself, and I used part of the OpenCV code, and then I implemented another thing to get the right bounding boxes for all the tracking that we did with the background subtractor. And in the end, it's pretty fast right now. It's not the problem anymore.
Cool.
And now I can focus again on the CSR3 tracker again.
I see.
And we went from like 3 FPS to, with the background subtractor and the blob detector, from 3 to like 12 or 13 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a huge boost.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And in the end, that is that. And now I'll focus on the tracker later. Right now, I'm trying just to play with the Orange Pi and see what kind of performance I get from it.
Yeah.
So to see if it's worth for us to invest in this kind of hardware or not.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we get an idea of the performance difference between the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, but CPU wise, it's amazing. It's more than 3 times faster.
Really?
Just on the CPU, because it has double the cores, and it's running faster and it's more optimized. So I'm getting from 3 to 4 times faster than running the code on the P4.
Wow. Okay.
Just on the CPU, and it does not even have a heatsink right now. If I put some heatsink and offload some of the heat from there, it will not be thermal throttling, and it might even run a little bit faster.
Cool. Yeah. By the way, just talking about the board, I'm going to buy a Xavia NX tomorrow, and let's send it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
And I will do it tomorrow. And yes, the Pi 5 is actually pretty good available right now. I saw. I just checked today, and I saw several sellers. For
Yeah,
reasonable
in fact,
price.
because that's they call it Pi 5, but it's not from the Raspberry.
Oh.
There are Origin Pi 5. So, and we have several other board manufacturers that do the same things with this chip. That's the Rockstar chip. And there's an ARM device, so ARM chip. So we have several manufacturers that they are doing this kind of thing, like the Raspberry Pi.
Mm-hmm.
And they are cheaper and they are more available right now because Raspberry Pi is just delaying the next version, delaying.
Mm-hmm.
And and they pick up on this thing that's selling good, and it's pretty available, yes, for several different manufacturers, but the chip itself is the same. So
yeah. I found it on Amazon today for only $116. The 16 gigabit version.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I ordered it from Amazon. It still didn't arrive, and the seller is not replying. So be careful.
Oh dear.
Okay, I got it from AliExpress, and it was a pretty fast delivery, and then arrived. Yeah, it's pretty good. So
yeah, I ordered end of November.
Oh yeah.
I ordered on end of November, but they asked me to. They said that it was a pre-release, so they could only ship it after like the mid of December, and it arrived like some days ago, and right on track with what they said they do the time they would deliver. So for me, it was perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. And anyway, I'm pretty impressed because it's amazing. I'm running it right beside me right now, and I'm doing everything with it on 4K on my monitor, and pretty fast. Everything's smooth, and it's amazing board.
Cool.
Did you put NVMe on it?
Sorry?
Did you put NVMe on it?
NVMe.
No, I did not. I will buy an NVMe, a small one, because I only have the ones that I use for my computer that are 2280. I will buy the 2242 that are the ones that run on it. And the other thing it's very good for this Orange P5 is that it accepts an NMV and VM hard drive, so it's pretty fast. So we can like save videos much faster than saving on the chip itself.
Somebody said it didn't have Wi-Fi, so obviously you can use a Wi-Fi USB stick. But I was wondering, could you not use an Arduino Wi-Fi board?
Maybe I didn't try it. In fact, I didn't see it when I bought it, and I just discovered it when I was trying to use it, and then I saw it everywhere that it does not have it. But you can use an USB stick or maybe an Arduino one. I don't know. The USB stick works. I have it one here, but I didn't test it yet because I just plugged in the Ethernet code and it's running. But I will do it later.
I found
you should be able to connect it to the GPIO and have there are other connectors on the board also to connect.
That's true. They have it. Yeah, that's true. But I'm playing more on the software side than on the hardware side right now. So
So, and I saw on Amazon a lot of Orange Pi 5s with Wi-Fi on board. So they come in all kinds of flavors.
But I think they use an NVM connector there for the Wi-Fi board.
Yeah, just a little module. Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Also, if I might raise the point, what are we planning to use Wi-Fi for?
For nothing.
Specifically, because I thought part of what we were trying to do here was make the thing radio quiet and not entirely passive.
Thank you.
And if you're busy radiating out Wi-Fi,
that's my question
and
too.
We are talking about having.
I thought we agreed on not having Wi-Fi on board because of making it radio silent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Again, I'd like to stick with that plan.
You're only talking about the advanced users. Only the advanced users are going to have the SDR. Everyone else is not going to have an SDR. So there may be some convenience to having a Wi-Fi.
Which one is that? Because you have already Ethernet, and compared Wi-Fi to Ethernet, I would go for Wi-Fi because go for Ethernet because you have the speed. You are switched and not hubbed. I don't see any advantage in Wi-Fi.
Because we determined that some hubs are not going to be able to have a Cat5 going to it. They'll be removed. So therefore, you'll use Wi-Fi over a terrestrial.
Yes, Tommy, but in this case, you have to run a power cable anyways. Or if you're off-grid, if you're totally off-grid, then you are on solar panels and batteries and Starlink, for example. Then you do not need Wi-Fi anyways. I also do not see the value in Wi-Fi for us. Besides, developers say, I want to hook several devices at the same time and doing this also on Wi-Fi just for the fun of it. But at the station level,
it will interfere with radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the kind of point I was also trying to allude to. Is I do like the idea of the thing being as radio quiet as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So anyway, I just want to make sure that I get in there during the development phase. Sure, cool, whatever works.
To Tommy's point, if you have the SDR device on it, you want to have radio signals coming, because we are actually detecting that they are changing their amplitude, right?
Yeah, because you have Wi-Fi block. You have 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And the interference, too close.
Yeah.
To radio antenna.
Yes.
All right. So a question to Ido. No, actually to both Christian and Ido. Before Christmas, you were both talking about the problems that you faced with lib USB, and can you? Yeah, Ido, a direct question. Can you just enlighten us on the situation on the lib USB front?
So libUSB and FXLoad packages are now on the staging branch of NIC's packages.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually got a chance to look at it, like to use it locally. I tried to move to the staging branch. It crashed my computer, so I need to find a better way how to target only those two packages. Mm-hmm. But they should merge very soon to master, and then it's available for everyone on the unstable branch. Mm-hmm. This is just the standard procedure in NixOS. Yeah, but now it's about fixing in the lib to work with this libUSB 1 version.
Okay.
And the FXLoad version 3 that support USB 3.
So wait a second, there are three fronts here, right?
Yeah.
One is the libUSB front, the second is the FXLoad front, and the third is
in the lib.
The in the lib front. And they all
So the fixed for libUSB was two things. One is to compile it with examples, which means that it will provide the newer binary of FXLoad. Mm-hmm. Number two is also support ARM-based computer chips, right? Mm-hmm. So we can run it on the Raspberry Pi, for example, mm-hmm. right? So those two changes were made.
Okay.
Then it was FXLoad.
Wait a second.
Really
sorry to interrupt you. When you say the libUSB part is made by you and put as a pull change request, and did they compile it? Did they accept it?
Yeah, they accepted it.
It is already accepted.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. They accepted it last week. Yes.
Oh wow!
That's what I told you.
That's what I told you. It's already accepted? No, you said that it's just in the process of reviewing.
So I tried to push it directly to master, okay? But the problem is that libUSB has such a large dependency behind it, which means that they will probably need to rebuild almost the entire OS again, just because of this change. So they asked me to move it to the staging branch, So that will be on the next version of NixOS, right? When they do like a big recompilation.
So you were talking now about NixOS and the implementation of the new libUSB version, right?
Yes. And NixOS, runs the Nix packages.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I get this.
And
But the moment before, you said the libUSB was accepted. Does that also mean it is now on the main trunk?
It's on the staging trunk.
It's on the staging. And how long will it take until it's on the main trunk? Because that's the time that NixOS will wait for it.
Yes. So I'm still trying to figure out where you're going to do the merge. Usually, one of them told me it's every like 2-3 weeks or once a month. Some other one told me that it's only on the next version, which is like maximum 3 months. I'm not sure. Okay, but I'll reach out to the community and try to see like what's the next steps. But anyhow, that gives me now the possibility to work on in the lib and actually use the new libUSB and fix all the UDEV rules. So I can boot the camera, put the firmware on it, and have it working.
So when you say you take the libUSB, you mean the one that you compiled fresh with FXload?
Yes.
Okay, so your version of libUSB, I get it. Okay, and you can use this and yeah, okay, but you could also implement this in NixOS by yourself, couldn't you?
That's what I did.
That's what you did. Okay, it's just not on the main track at NixOS yet. It just takes time, as it takes time for libUSB to be there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, get it. So at least we have a local version that works, right?
Yes, yes. It should work locally, and I should be able to fix now in the lib locally also. It's just that when I try to, I need to figure out how to point. So the problem is if I point to in the lib, to libUSB 1, it's changing all of the structure of my computer to point to the staging branch because everything is dependent on it, as I said. And that's causing instabilities. So I need to figure out how to do it. That's something that I will attack this week.
Okay.
But it's really
creating.
But
it's really creating.
But now I understand.
It's really creating a develop. It's really creating a development environment for working on out of the staging branch of NixOS, which is a very unstable branch. So I need to find like maybe I'll use a VM, with a bare minimum, things that I can put in it. We'll see. I'll figure it out.
Okay, so you mean that it is not crashing your machine?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Okay, that's why you.
But again, I can try it now again, and it will work. In 5 minutes from now, it will stop because the staging branch have a lot of commits to it.
But this is
that are unstable.
Yeah, but okay, maybe I didn't get it right in my head, but you've got a local version of NixOS on your platform, which is the last version, as I would assume, with libUSB already in it, but the old version of libUSB. If you now, can you exchange the driver on that machine with your libUSB? You probably did.
Yes.
That. And
yes, but first of all, it takes about 6 to 7 hours
to compile.
Because my system now, because I need to recompile everything that libUSB, the new one, depends on, right? And that takes time. So I'll figure it out.
Okay.
The right way is to create a proper staging environment.
But that's
just how to do that. I'm going to ask the community what's the best approach.
I get it. My concern is only if this sounds for me like a road blocker, because if we have a blocking that is where we depend on someone else, like the libUSB community or the NixOS organization.
Oh, we are not dependent on their community because I went and fixed whatever I needed to.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
that's what I wanted to point out, that you have at least a local fix, and you're still working on it, but we do not have a roadblocker from third parties.
No.
Okay. Perfect. That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. No, we are building our own packages in a way.
Okay. Perfect. Yo, I think I've got everything on my list.
Or to be more correct, I'm now a contributor for the libUSB1 and FXLoad on Nix packages.
On the Nix packager, on the Nix platform.
Yes, I'm the main contributor for FXLoad, and I'm the second contributor for libUSB.
Okay.
Cool. Which is crazy to think about. It didn't plan to do that, but we needed it done, so here we go.
Yeah, and it obviously was a problem that no one tackled right up to now.
Well, yeah, because you know the FXLoad is a very old package. What was there? It was gathered like I think 2002 or something, and it didn't support USB 3. And then when they created libUSB 1, they really created it for like Linux more than anything. They didn't really focus on even compiling it on ARM processes. No, not sorry, not libUSB. IndieLib. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
For libUSB, I just needed the FXLoad example because that's the newer one. So the fix for libUSB was really just to compile it with examples, which means the FXLoad binary will be available. And then the FXLoad package would be to just reference the libUSB1 and grab the FXLoad binary from the example and put it under SBIN. That's really something small, but it took weeks for them to like accept it, approve it, and whatever.
Okay. And any idea when this approval can be done? You have an idea about this?
Now it's just time. It was already approved.
Du bist
it's
doch
just time to
recording, bitte
propagate
nicht
it to the
reden.
master branch. Okay, but again, I can work on the locally on the IndieLib with this specific libUSB.
Okay, you're not blocked by any ways. Perfect.
Yeah. No, I just need to figure out how to set up the environment. But once I do, then we are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next step will be that when you've got it running and it's not crashing your computer, that you can take on Christian's algorithms to get the camera picture streamed through, right?
So not exactly.
Not exactly.
The first step will be to fix IndieLib, okay, and make sure that now the camera is working with the Indie driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Once it's working with the Indie driver, then we will create something for Mike that he can actually listen to it and get all the frames directly. Okay. It will not be in the first one. The first version will not be through ROS2. The second iteration will be to completely rewrite the firmware with Christian's libraries and have the camera transmit directly on ROS2. Okay, that will be the next step.
Okay.
So the next step will be for Mike. After that will be to just get rid of the data and just have a subscription to the ROS2 stream. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Makes sense?
Makes sense. So for the alpha version, is the first one the alpha version for you, or with ROS2?
Yes, the first one. Yeah, the first one is the alpha. As soon as I get the camera working under Indie server and NixOS, you will be able to download the image, plug in either a web USB camera, or whatever, or this camera, and they will start streaming over UDP. to begin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the next step will be to move it to ROS 2. Yeah.
Yeah. But the moment is this not moved to ROS 2 and this time in between?
Just a quick question. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Rebecca, go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I miss it? Are you saying basically for now then ROS 2 will not be in the alpha version?
No. Just for the camera, it will not be.
Oh,
The
not for
second
the
version,
camera, but
the
for
second,
the sensors?
eventually it will be. The second version, that's the next step. Yeah.
Because I'm asking so I know how to organize everything, because from my perspective, I thought it was a camera feed that would be in ROS 2, and that constitutes the first alpha version. So
Yes, you should still rely on it this way. I will provide a wrapper for you that will look like it's ROS 2. Okay?
Because
I will provide.
for making it ROS 2 officially, we have to rewrite the complete IndieLib in ROS 2, and I don't think that we'll get it in time.
Yeah.
So we will stick to the official IndieLib version, but with a patched one. And afterwards, when we have got time, we will re-implement the whole Indie thing in ROS 2.
Yeah, the Indie protocol, exactly.
Okay, but in the time between, all parts that are not ROS 2 will be wrapped as a ROS 2 node. Did I get that right? Okay. So Rebecca, for you, it shouldn't change anything.
Okay, I can just continue as normal.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, what technically we will do, if it's interests someone, is really creating like an indie client that listen to the video stream and then publish it again on ROS 2. Okay.
That's the wrapper.
And that's something that doesn't really need to. It can run anywhere because Indie uses UDP as well, similar to ROS 2. Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, if in your words, if I summarize the alpha version will be a Pi 4 or 5 that still have to be settled by Fabio and Christian, of course, and the camera, the QHY, connected via USB to this Pi, and this Pi then streams the camera feed, let's say. This is the alpha version right now, am I correct, Ido?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It is not including anything on another board, let's say on a Jetson board that picks up that via ROS and processes it. Or shall we include that as well as call it the alpha version?
Up to you.
No, it's up to us, not to me. I'm not the product owner. I'm just the secretary, the T-boy.
So, if you want to put the tracker as part of the alpha version, then yes, then we should have a board like that.
Mike, what is your say?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, I help you.
Can you repeat quickly?
No, I help you. We were talking about what we call the alpha version. What is the alpha version? So, and what Ido was telling us was the problems they're facing right now in the implementation of the driver and IndieLib and FXLab and what have you. So, but he has workarounds, and we will have our own version for now that runs on a Pi 4 or 5, connects to the camera, connects the camera. So you have a USB cable from the camera to this Pi, and this Pi puts out a stream wrapped as a ROS2 node. So my question to Ido was, what do we call the alpha? What does we as a community, as K3XT community, call as the alpha? What do we want to bring out as the alpha version? It's our decision. We can say what's in this bag. And my question was, and that's why I asked you, is do we call the tracker, or let's say even parts of the kinematics, as the alpha? Shall we also have an image for a Jetson board that goes out?
Yeah,
because then we need two images, one for the Pi and one for the Jetson. Yeah, go ahead.
So which Jetson board are you referring to? Are you referring? You're not referring to the Nano now.
No,
I assume you're referring to the other one. So I think we target the most affordable platform.
Yeah.
So from a timeline perspective, Ido, what do you have ideas to when all your stuff will be done, like just roughly? I'm not that I'm chasing or anything like that. I'm just trying to understand if we're still 3 months out or 6 months out, sort of thing.
Well, I hope we are not 3 months out. I hope we are less.
Realistically, though, so do you think? So are we saying that somewhere like end of March-ish, we would be looking to push an alpha? Just roughly, is that roughly the sort of time scales we're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Richard, I think that gives us some time to experiment with the Pi 5 to see what sort of throughput we get on that. I think that gives us some time to also, so that gives us time also to then, one of the things on my to-do list is basically capturing tracks of interest. And so I need to look into the Ross bag stuff. I know Matt was looking into that as well, so I'll have to touch base with him to see where he's gotten with his inspection of that. So I think that's probably a good starting point. If we can integrate kinematics, I think that would be great. I think like the classification and all that sort of stuff doesn't go in the alpha because that is going to require some sort of GPU based platform. I don't know if so I think it's basically I think that the tracker, so I think it's the tracker as is. Maybe see if we can integrate the kinematic stuff, and then we'd have to integrate the UI side of things as well. So I don't think we need I'm not sure if you need a Jetson board for the alpha, because I think if we go with the view of not going with a Jetson board, see how performance is on the Pi, on the Orange Pi 5s, see how it, just see how it can process, and by process I mean it needs to be able to do the like the CPU orientated stuff and also persist, the packs of interest as well. See what sort of speed we get through. We get with that platform, and then once we have an idea as to what sort of speed we get with that platform, that will, I think, give us an indication as to whether we need a secondary platform to do some of the offloading to.
Okay, yeah.
That's my kind of thing. So that's my view, because I think when I was messing about with the Jetson Nano, and I know that's not a platform anymore, but when I was messing about with that, the I/O side of that, like for example, saving images and video files and all those sorts of things to, I know it was using a micro SD card, but that would take an age. So the cool thing now is you can plug a NVMe into the Orange Pi 5. That's going to be like night and day with regards to storage. So as long as there's no massive hiccup or lag or I don't think there will be because of the way the tracker's architected as well. The architecture is very different to what it was before. When I was working on the Nano, that was more like as a single process executing in a like a single threaded way, whereas now every node is executing in its own process. So you'll get better use of CPU. So I think my view would be to try and attempt the alpha using just the Pi 5 and only move to a secondary board if we have to. That would be my view. Sorry, did that answer your question? I know that was a very long-winded response.
Absolutely. That brings me to the question to Christian and Fabio. So if we go as Mike proposed with one Pi, would that Pi be able to do the image pre-processing and all is needed and also run the tracker on I don't know what the camera is then delivering, 20 frames per second, whatever, and also do the tracking? Maybe not maybe the kinematics, yes or no, depends on how much AI neural network there is. Fabio, go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, we just need to know exactly what is going to run on it. Okay, if we're talking about capturing the image and also doing all the pipelines, then it's just too much for a Pi 4, for instance. It can handle. If we're talking just doing maybe the background subtraction and also the blob detection, and maybe then that's okay. Then maybe we can run it there. So it depends. It depends on what we want to do and how the pipeline is going to be assembled. So we can access on what can it runs there. For instance, I'm running on the right now. I'm not even like try to use the NPU unit on the Pi 4, the Pi 5, or the graphics board there, or the GPU. It's running like 20 FPS, doing the video capture, the background subtraction, the blurring, and the blob detection, and the blob detection, and everything on this thing on the 8 megapixel image. It's running on over 20 FPS. So that's good. But
that's fantastic, man. That's not good. That's exceptional. That's really good. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's amazing. And but it's not running the tracker. It's stopping on the blob detection. Okay, so we have to shift the things here and there and see what we can run where. So because or else we would just be too much for any of these boards.
Yeah.
And would you be able to get into a position where you can run a Docker container? Like, can you run the ROS2 tracker as a Docker container and see if I could put some metric in there, like some sort of frames per second metric, would you be able to run the container with a test video or two to see what sort of throughput you get?
Yeah, we can try it. I didn't install any kind of ROS there. I'm just playing directly with the coding and C++ in the Linux. But I think yes, we just sit together and we install all the ROS things there and we just try it there. That's perfectly fine. It's just a Ubuntu 22 running there.
Yeah, so because the Docker container has all the ROS stuff, so you don't need to install anything on the, as long as you've got like Linux running, I don't. So basically, I'm trying to avoid you having to, like pollute your new install with all sorts of other stuff. So if we can get the Docker container up, is it an ARM-based system? It is not. Is it an ARM-based system?
It's ARM, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's a problem.
Okay. Yeah. That complicates things a little bit from that side, but okay. That means I'm gonna if we're gonna regardless of what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have to support ARM, aren't I? So I need to add that to my list of priorities, I think, because currently I don't build anything for ARM. I just build stuff for x86.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so I need to build. So the stuff that I build for x86, I need to build for ARM as well. And once all those containers are built, you then should be able to execute the container on the device to see what sort of throughput you get, I think.
Yeah, true.
And once you have a view as to what sort of throughput you get, I think we can then make a determination as to do we need another device or not.
Okay,
Does that sound
perfect.
logical? What do you think? Does that sound? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's just a matter of getting the right the right image for the containers. It will not be too difficult to yeah.
But bear in mind that the camera, the QHY, requires about 10 gigabit of bandwidth.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
We have to figure it out because we're not be capturing like 8-bit images also. So
yeah,
we have to.
About 8 point something gigabit.
Okay, we'll have to think about the capture and the treatment of the image also, of course. Yeah, probably we'll not be able to run everything on just 1.5. But
that's fair.
Even if we put 2 of these, I think it will be enough for us to run. And it's not expensive. We're talking about $100 for a little board. So we're talking about two of these boards working together. Then that's perfectly fine for $200.
Mm-hmm. Did you get the 8 gigabyte RAM or 16?
And I did I got the 8. Yes.
8. Okay.
Yeah, I got the 8. Yeah. I paid like $85 at the time for the 8 gigabyte.
Now the 8 cost here like $140.
Yeah, I got the pre-release, so
I got it also, but they never even like he told me that he shipped it, but it was never really shipped.
Okay.
It's still waiting. So if he's not answering me by end of next week, and then I'll probably will get a refund.
Okay.
And then buy the 8, I guess. I went with the 16. It was cheap enough.
Yeah, it was cheap, yes.
Schneck. I was going to say one of those things I noticed. One of the things I noticed, and you might want to check your paperwork. When I ordered my 2, and I got them through Amazon, and they're coming from Orange Pi, presumably out of China. But they specifically said they were not going to be delivering them in reality until earliest dates 20th of January. And then they sent me a thing, said, well, we're going to list them as shipped, even though we're not actually shipping them until the 20th. And as long as they arrive here, I'm okay with that. But, obviously your mileage may vary. So you might want to look at that and see if their take on it's going to be, we said we were going to deliver them by whatever date. Mid-January, and they're listing them as shipped for whatever reason. I suspect that's to meet, something like Amazon's quality of service guides or something like that. But so it's something that you might want to look into before you get, running amok on the supplier. Just as a thinking out loud thing.
I spoke with the supplier before, and I told him this is for Sky 360 and everything, right? And I know, like he said, this is a pre-order, so I will market it shipped. And but that was supposed to be delivered right after Christmas, right? And so far, I sent him like 3 messages. Since he never responded, So I'm waiting for that.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
Well, they go into their new year right now, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If not, I will send Tommy to get like 10,000 of these. and then Tommy, I will sell each one of them.
Okay, he got it.
And deliver by hand. Absolutely. Christian, question to you. From your point of view, if we take a Pi 5, and you heard from Fabio that's the CPU power is almost 3 times about. How much CPU is consumed by the pre-processing and requiring the camera stream and delivering then a stream? How much is left for anything besides that?
That will depend on if we're going to use parallelization and segmentation. If we consume up all the cores, it will speed up the process around 50%, maybe more.
So what does it bring us? I mean, the idea is, as talked before, to have the alpha version just with one board, the Pi 5, for example. Would that be feasible from your point of view with the pre-processing until the stream comes out the camera?
The more computation power we have, the better. Yes, I would go for the Pi 4. I would go for the Pi 5.
Now, my question is...
And I'm trying to get one...
Yes, but my question is, will then, when you have implemented all your code and it is running on that Pi 5, will then be process power or cores left for the tracker or background subtraction or what have you?
So the plan was to run the background subtraction as close to the camera as possible, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Even to the point that when we get the new firmware in Rust, right, that we will try to even put it there directly on the hardware of the camera, right?
Okay.
Yes.
And this is the most advanced we can think we can try, right? Again, and that will go into like more advanced stuff because then it will be like really background subtraction on an analog signal, right? That's where we want to get to.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You know, if we get there, the Pi 5 will be more than enough. Okay.
For the
but
pre-processing. For the pre-processing, but what about the tracking afterwards?
The tracking again. The tracking. When you speak about the tracking, I speak about this is a part of the pipeline of the neural network. Okay, that requires GPU.
Wait a second. The tracker, as Mike developed it right now, does not use GPU.
Yeah, but
it's not a neural network either. So.
No, yeah. We're talking about different trackers. It's the same. We're having the same problem with the terminology that's before.
Yes,
okay.
We're talking about we're talking just about the object detection in the image.
Yeah.
And that's the tracker that Richard's talking about.
Yeah.
It's not the whole tracker with the labeling and and everything else.
Okay.
It's just working on the image from the camera.
Yeah. So okay. The worst case, if it doesn't fully work on 20 frames per second, it will work on, let's say, 10 frames per second or half of them, right? So you might not be able to process all the frames, but because we are doing a single frame pass, right, and we do the object detection on a single frame, then we will be able to do it anyhow, maybe on a lower frame rate. But we can still use the Pi 5 for that.
Okay, so you say we can go for the one board solution for the alpha version and just tweak the FPS to make it run, for example?
Yes.
Okay.
And can we maybe just put a little disclaimer somewhere that says that we will finalize a decision once we've tested it or something like that. Because I think if we test it,
course. I don't think we're
and
making any decisions right now.
yeah, so yeah, exactly. Just so that, like, if we test it and it we really come to a decision that we need more than one board, then we can go down that route.
Yeah,
But
I mean, particularly if you think about
yeah.
it, right? The Pi 5 have 6 cores, right?
8 cores.
8 cores. Sorry, 8 cores. Yeah. So you take, it's probably about 8 megabytes per core for the background subtraction and the camera processing, if you parallelize it, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
8 megabyte. It's not. So if Fabio, you can tell me, this is how long it takes me to do 8 megabytes, and I tell you I'm having, what it is, 160 megabytes a second that I'm giving you. If you can process that and do background subtraction, you will have that. We will have that per core.
Yeah, right now I'm processing an 8 megabyte image, but monochrome and grayscale and 8-bit core in 8 bits, and it's processing. I can check it here. Just a second. How long it's
no, again, 8 megabyte. It's 8 megabyte. It doesn't matter if it's 8-bit or 16-bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's an 8 megabytes.
Yeah,
yeah, of course. I'm just looking at here for the Oreo Pi is processing in 5 milliseconds the image.
5 milliseconds.
5 milliseconds to process the using all cores. Yes, all 8 cores.
You're talking about the
background. That's not tracking and stuff. That
Just the background subtraction. Background subtraction.
Okay. Wow.
Just that.
Wow.
Just the background subtraction, because it's for everything else. It's for the blur. It's using 3.4 milliseconds more. For the grayscale, 2 milliseconds more. I can send you this data. I just collected.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Please, yeah.
So, Christian, what do you think?
How fast was it on the Pi 4?
On the Pi 4, let me check it here. On the Pi 4, the same thing. Oh, I don't have it nailed down here, but it was running the full. I have to get the data there. The full process, the full pipeline was running on 6 frames per second, and on the Pi 5 it was running on 24 frames per second. So
4 times.
4 times. Yeah, 4 times. Yes.
The improvement is done by parallelizing and segmentation.
Yeah.
And
I
it's a speed up. It's a speed up of 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than 3 times, but yeah, that's it.
And you did not use anything from OpenCL?
I'm using OpenCL to do the grayscale, and also to do some to do some part of the blot detection. It uses an algorithm from the OpenCV. OpenCL, I'm just starting to use it right now because I had not programmed anything in OpenCL before. I'm doing that right now. I'm just trying to learn it. So,
question I have: are you using like a fixed, like a static image in memory, or are you copying the segmentation of it?
No. I'm getting the frame from the video. Then I segment the image in 8 parts, in 8 different parts, and send one of each part for each core, and then put them together.
Perfect. Okay, so using like pointers and stuff, right? Like not mem copy.
No, I don't use. Yeah, I'm using mem copy for some things, yes, but
okay.
Yeah.
So with ROS 2, you will get the performance because that mem copy will be removed. That's what I was trying to get into.
Okay.
Because it's just a view on the segmented
Exactly.
parts.
You get like a pointer to the segment that you need to process. Yeah.
Yeah. The background subtraction. The thing is that it for it to run, I have to have a copy of the previous image. So that's why I'm using main copy. Other than that, I don't copy anything. I just copy the image when I'm doing the background subtraction because I need several copies of the previous frames for me to do the background subtraction.
Yeah. So ROS 2 is handling that, so you don't need to do it. It will give you. You can always subscribe like for the most recent frame with the previous one, so you will always get both.
Yeah, then I will have to change a lot of things for me to get this, because or else I have to explain the background subtraction.
I think, yeah. So I think before we go down that rabbit hole, I think basically ultimately we can optimize it to a point where we do all that sort of stuff. I think initially let's just get it working and get the alpha out, and then we can review and optimize. And so what I just try and prevent is, personally, I just don't want Fabio to he has to rewrite his algorithm.
No.
Again,
I'm pointing that there is a lot of room for optimization. Okay.
Yes. Agreed.
So if we now conclude that the alpha version shall run on a Pi 5.
No, we have an hypothesis. We are not concluding.
No. For now, we're not concluding. Finally, we concluded for now.
Until we have a physical test, we are not concluding anything.
Yeah, okay. Concluding is the wrong word here. I see. We have a lawyer on board. Okay.
Remember, we are running. In the end, we are running not on 8-bit. We are running on 16-bit images.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to test this. But where I wanted to head is not the conclusion, but the preliminary setting for now. So the idea is to go with the alpha with the Pi 5, which means if we can make it run with the camera on 16-bit and still having, 10, 15, 20 frames per second with the background subtractor, and maybe even the detection and maybe even the blobbing, that would be great. But we have to find out. I get this. My question now is, Fabio, at that point in time, and it still takes a couple of weeks until we are there, until we really know where we are, does the Jetson board make any sense to you right now? I don't want to send anything to you which is just put in the drawer and of no use because you're focused on something else.
That's true. If you're not going to go in that direction right now, then it does not make sense.
Okay.
Because if I get the Jetson board, I'll have to spend time to run things on there.
Yeah.
And to optimize for it. Because then I'll be able to optimizing for CUDA, and then I'll be able to optimizing for different things to run it faster. And if you're not going on that direction, then I think it's not. We don't need that right now. We can just play with what we have right now and try to figure out if it's enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because even if one board is not enough, if you've got two Pi 5s, it will be
cheaper
3 times cheaper than just one Jetson.
Definitely, that's where I wanted to head to. Exactly, that's the point.
If we need 2 boards, then it's cheaper than one Jetson.
True. So for now, I skip the Xavier NX purchase because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, perfect.
It makes much more sense to take some money and, let's say, for example, Mike, do you have a Pi 5?
No, I don't at the moment. No.
But it would make sense if we ship one to you, right?
Yeah, if you can get hold of them, yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. Is I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna if that's sort of the processing board that we're gonna standardize on for V1 or like attempt to go with for the alpha, then I'm gonna have to get my hands on one of them just so I can ensure that everything I do works on it. Really, just to test my stuff.
This will be basically we have a Pi 4, Pi 5 anyways, because if we need another board, then we add other boards along the pipeline. But we will have a Pi 4, at least one in all cases. So brings me back to the point. Long story short, we wanted to purchase a $600 Xavier NX, which doesn't make sense to me right now. At that point in time we are right now, I think it makes much more sense to buy 4 Pi 5s, for example. Right?
Yes.
Same amount of money, but 4 times much more sense. Makes more sense. So, Fabio, you already have a Pi 5, right?
Yeah, I do.
Ido, you already have one.
No.
Okay, but you expected one. Okay.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so that I will get one.
Mike, you don't have one? No. So you need one?
No.
Rebecca, you do not have one, right? Rebecca? I assume
no, I do not. I'm here.
Okay,
I don't.
You would need one. Lionel, you do not have one, right? A Pi 5?
Well, no, I still have my Jetson, which I haven't unboxed yet. So that's useless now. I can resell it.
We're not sure now. That's the point.
Oh, okay, I'll just keep it.
What we are quite sure right now is that we need a Pi 5 in any ways, because the Pi 5 will be the pre-processing board from the camera. So in any point in time, you will need a Pi 5. So my question, you do not have one, I assume?
No.
Okay, so I have 3 people now that are in need of a Pi 5 immediately. Christian, what about you?
Good.
I do not have any.
You do
just
not have
2
any.
Pi 4s.
Okay, but you would certainly need a Pi 5 just for testing and implementing your code.
And
for running the camera, yes.
For delivering here in Europe, if you are in Europe, then you have to go to AliExpress. I can send you the link for the vendor that did it to me.
And anyone who has a good link to the Orange Pi, please send it over to me. Tommy, if you have
I will. And right now they have the cases also for the Pi 5. They didn't have it like 1 or 2 weeks ago that I was searching, and right now they also have the cases. I just got one myself. It's arriving like 5 days. So
okay,
because I'm running it just on top of the card because I don't have a case for it.
I get it.
So and the case like $15 or something like this.
Yeah.
So does this mean that we're standardizing on that now? That's a standard piece of hardware?
For now. So we're still implementing. Yeah, that's the problem, Tommy. We have to implement it. The Pi 5 is the first Pi 5 board is with Fabio. Ido has ordered his in November, did not arrive yet. The question is we have to test it first and see where we are and how we can use it. Either we can use it fully with the whole detection and blob, even with blob detection, then fine. If that does not, but then we need another board as well for the kinematics and the image recognition, and therefore we need GPU. So question is another Pi 5 or a Jetson board. But as long as that is not decided yet, but the Pi 5 I think is a minimum right now, as it sounds from Fabio's experiences.
Yeah, so from my point of view, sorry, Fabio. So the image classification, the route I'm going down is like Jetson boards. Okay, so that either Jetson or anything with CUDA, basically. So that's the way I'm like That's what I'm looking into at the moment. It might not be the right, or it might not be the ultimate right way to do things, but that's the route I'm just navigating down now.
So, where would you use the Jetson then? Just so I'm clear. For the camera?
Image recognition. No. Not
Okay.
I mean, for the camera material, yes.
Got it.
The Pi
But-
is a extender board to the camera because the camera itself doesn't have this power, CPU process power.
I'm doing some
But-
work with the camera with Christian and Ido. And so I'm just wondering if I shouldn't go ahead and get one now myself as well for that type of stuff we're working on, because it's directly related to the camera.
Yeah, the Pi 5 is a good board to have.
So let's buy it all together then. So
Yeah.
you can, I'll give you the money for mine, and you can just buy it all together.
Tommy.
Or I could just order my own. I could just order my own here. Because how are you gonna do it? You just gonna order it online and then give everybody's address?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I wonder if you said $115. I wonder if we can get it cheaper. It'd be cheap. Damn.
Yes, you get it
That's
cheaper.
exactly why I
114.
said we're going to buy 10,000 of these.
Yeah.
Can we get it for 75?
Yeah.
And always remember the term evaluation units.
But by the way, they come with up to 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Even 32. I just
I
saw
thought it was
16.
Okay.
Yeah, we can have it from 4 to 32. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone who got links for an Orange Pi 5, please send it over to me. DM it to me, please.
I will do it right now.
Yeah,
I have it.
Perfect.
I have it
thank you.
plenty.
Richard.
Yes.
Richard. So, yeah, just keep an eye on that Orange Pi 5 spec thing, because if they, what I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be too much in a hurry to buy a load of kit tomorrow if there's going to be better kit in. Well, I suppose this is the constant issue, isn't it? It's always going to be a problem. No, don't worry. I withdraw my statement because it's just always going to be a problem.
Yeah,
It's always the same.
I agree. I think hardware is switching it. But I mean, how often do you think they would switch out the Orange Pi? I mean, you know, the next version would come out, let's say now, wouldn't it be at least a year from now? Sure. I mean,
Yeah, at least a year from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least.
Pi 4 was established in
Different company.
2019, so I think they go for a 4-year duty cycle.
But Christian,
wow.
this is a different company. The Orange Pi is not made by Raspberry.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, but the Pi itself.
Yeah, no, Pi.
The Orange Pi is not the original developed product. They develop it and then they they get it out under several branches and brands. So
Yeah, no, the Orange Pi 4 was released in 22. So it's within a year they're releasing another one.
in 22, okay.
Yeah.
And one of the advantages of the not the Orange Pi 5 exactly is that we have several boards, several manufacturers that are doing the same board or very similar with the same chip.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
what I
have
meant.
Yeah, so this chip is very.
I was reading now that I think the official Raspberry Pi 5 is not going to make an appearance in 2023. That looks like it's only going to be a 2024 product. And I suppose there's much more. There's a lot more to think about than just releasing a board with the official guys, because they got to do all sorts of revisions to OSs and all sorts of things, I guess. So it just takes longer, I suppose.
Well, they're also switching the model, it seems, to be like more parallelism, so you can bound all this Raspberry Pi to a single board and have more compute. Like what we, they did with Blades, Blade servers long time ago.
All right. Hey guys, we are over the 2 hours. If there's anything from your side you wanna share or bring up now, okay, then I would say we close the session for today. Please stay on for the next couple of 2 minutes. I just stopped the recording now.